Hey there, lads and lasses. This here is Thunderhand64 coming at you live from the Generations Minecraft Realm server on a Saturday evening. Yes, usually we're at noontime PST here for the Saturday stream of Generations, but my older son, Biggie Cheese, has basketball games now. And so that's thrown our schedule off a little bit, but it is awesome to watch him play. He is so cool. It is so cool to see him play. And man, I gotta say, before the stream even started, of course, my co-pilot Draken right in there, right from the start. And yes, he has surfaced. He is still alive. My partner in crime, the Tron Slime. Everybody, he has dropped by to say hi. Very, very cool. I missed you, buddy. It's really cool to see you in there. And of course, it's Colin Dagoon has also stopped by, and you can tell people have a lot more time now that summertime's rolling around, and it's really cool to see you guys. And giving shout outs is our friend Draken, and Draken gave shout outs here for Draken, if you would, for the Tron Slime and Colin Dagoon. Really, really cool if you do that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And here we go. So what are we going to do today? Well, Saturday, we usually work on different parts of the realm that are not scheduled builds. But for the Tuesdays and Thursdays, I've been doing scheduled building. And so the last time we were on for a Thursday stream, we made quite a bit of progress on the hotel. And you know what? I'm bitten by the bug on this thing, and I want to complete our design work for it. So if you can look behind me, we have the middle section, the foyer tower middle section. Let's just call it the middle section. And I'd like to do at least a little shaping on that today. I don't know how long, how much progress we'll make, but I have some ideas of the shape of that thing, and I want to lay out at least those ugly dirt blocks and get the shape that I want and some dimensions and stuff. And then we'll see how much we accomplish there. So I'm thinking we should do that. And let me see. So there's the call out for the Tron Slime, and it's Colin Dagoon. Please go check out their streams. I know that the Tron Slime says he's saving up for a new system. All the power to you. I can't wait till you get it. Good luck with the GPU, though. Good luck with the GPU. There's some hope on the horizons that the GPU prices and availability might be coming down, but they're not expecting so until about Christmas. So some people are actually building APU systems right now because that's with integrated graphics in the CPU chip. That's really the only thing that they can do right now. But hopefully you get your new system, you get it up and running, and you're back to streaming because we really, really miss you. We really do. And it's Colin Dagoon. It'll be great to see him back to streaming too, working on his Hogwarts world. That'll be really, really cool. And there we go. Okay, so just making sure. All right. And let's get down to business here. Let's take a look at this. And so when last we were on the server, we had made some changes here. So I wanted to design some spacers in between each unit. Not space. They're not going to be spaced out like this, but not spaced out like me. Now, there's going to be structure in here. There's going to be a wall dividing these two, and you can see that I increased the staggering by two blocks instead of just one like I had before. I think this will separate things a little bit. And see, I may have two columns for the balcony, but only one column for the hallway, and then I may move the hallway over and we'll attach these in some sort of cool way. So we'll figure that out. But we pretty much figured that size-wise, this is going to be pretty much it for the width. We're going to have 3 units on each side, and these columns will extend upwards, depending on how many guests we wind up having. And then on either end, there'll be a structure, some sort of tower on either end of these wings, and definitely a bubble vader going up to each floor. That's going to happen. And then with the remaining space, not really sure. Down below, I'd like to have a parking garage so we can park the horses in there. And then for the remaining spaces for each floor, I don't know, maybe these end units will be high-end suites and they'll have like a wrap-around balcony, or the rooms will just be made extra long here on those towers. And so maybe we'll have something like that. Not really sure. Maybe we'll have just some storage space in there hidden away for a redstone or something like that, just in case we think of something like that. But I think we should be doing all right there. And so that's the short plan so far. The foyer here will be open all the way up through from the lobby down below, so you'll see all the way up. And each level will have its mezzanine that will go all the way around like that. So we'll do a little bit of work on that today. And then the foyer will be all open. The front face will be closed. We'll have big glass structures in the front here so you can see inside with a grand entrance like so. But once you're inside, I want the back to be entirely open so you can see the beach and the sea and everything over the main reception area and stuff like that. And then you would proceed thusly to get to the bubble elevator if your room is on the north wing, that would be, or this way to get to the bubble elevator if your room happens to be in the south wing. And then it would extend out the back here. And then there would be a patio area here with, I'm not really sure, maybe some sort of in-ground swimming pool or something like that. And then beyond that, the ocean beach and the ocean. So that would be the idea. And so those are the rough plans so far. So today I'm thinking I would like to at least get the shape of this. I have some ideas how I want to go about doing that. You see, there are 2 Alienware Auroras available locally, but they are $1,600 and $1,800. Wow. And I'm sure maybe 1,200 of each of those prices, 1,200 or 14 of those prices is just for the GPU. We're talking about building systems. Okay, so let's get to work on this. So what I wanted to do here, this is the back side. Front side is out. What I wanted to do is to make this a semi-cylinder. And so I wanted to come out here like this in a circle. So I know that that's 25 blocks wide. Now, I don't know if I want this, the diameter of the circle, to be 25 blocks. Or I want the diameter to be less and just have this be a chord of a much bigger circle. Because I actually don't want this to stick out too much. All right, so I'm going to make the chord or the diameter, depending on what we wind up having it be, actually come out to here. Be right here. And then the circle to extend beyond. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. I may have it come out a little bit further past this, because that would be a very gentle arc. And in the way that we have to make arcs in Minecraft, it may not even be noticeable. And so, I don't know. I'm thinking just basically maybe twice that. Wind up doing that. See what that's going to look like. Something like that. Okay. So what I'm going to use for that, they're brand new. Just open the box, and that is actually less than MSRP for them. Yeah, I can imagine. Actually, for a full system that's already together, up and running, way to go. Now, I don't know what the specs on, let me see, 2 Alienware Auroras. I don't know what are in those. Assume that's mostly the case, but I don't know what's in it for hardware. But that's actually, especially the $1,600 one for right now, that's actually a pretty good price. Of course, if that were 2 years ago, it would be half that price for the same computer. And I'm not kidding. Half. One. Alrighty, let's take a look at this. So I'm going to use an app that is that I use for to plan out circles and ellipses by Plots. And so let's go do that. So if we type in, usually all you have to do if you're going to search it is type in Plots with a Z and circle or ellipse, and it'll come up to his app. And it's really cool. Okay, Plots, Minecraft ellipse generator. And it only says ellipse and it doesn't say circle. Why? Mathies? because circle is just a special case of an ellipse where both axes. Right? So if each axis is unequal, it's an ellipse. If they're both equal, it's a circle, which is a special case. So ellipse covers circle. All right, so let's do this. Right there. And there we go. And it's cool. You can set the major, minor axis and things like that. So I'm going to go with the 25 diameter first, and I'm going to see what that looks like. And so you would set each axis to 25 like this. And so we get a circle. Get dang. I never had that happen with the iPad. I'm trying to do this on the iPad. Very, very hard for people with hands like me. All right, we'll do it in a very manual and difficult way here. Okay, there we go. All right. 6, got it. So, like that. Good. Goes like that. And then 2 of those like that. And then let me see. Looks like 7 o'clock. 3, 6, 7, yeah. And that's quite a flat face on there. So, but I think it'll do. I think it'll. And that is not a good sign. That is not a good sign. Where did I go wrong? Okay, so I got 25. Definitely got 5. What did I do wrong here? Okay, so let me see. I've got... definitely have 25 for my diameter. Oh, I think I know what's happening. Oh, I totally know what's happening. Right. Okay, got it. It's where I intersected my cord. All right, it's actually going to come out much, much further than that. Okay, so, and I might not want to do this. We'll see what happens here. So this is actually going to be sun. That. Right. And we'll come off of this like this. Come on, hands, cooperate now. Ilza. Back. Okay, and then like this. Like that. Okay, there we go. And like I said, this might bulge out a little bit too much, I think. So we'll see. See, now they meet up, and that's good. That might come out They bulge out a little bit too much. There's P-Nebs. Sneaks in because I'm late, due to getting caught up in a book. Let me see if I can try to find somebody who's going to scold you for that. Welcome, P-Nebs. Thank you for dropping by. This is when you need that measuring tape mod. Measuring tape mod. There's a measuring tape mod? What is that? Oh, we're fine. We're fine. It's a measuring tape mod. Okay. Well, now I'm going to put the bottom in here. I'm going to duplicate the same thing across the bottom. And let's get the feel for this. I think this is just jutting out too far. I get the feeling it's jutting. Now you've gone too far. Although, you know, we could bring it back a little bit by those 3 units just to here. We could do that. In fact, I already feel like it's too far. Oh, we should do that. We should do that. So I should start all of this right about. Or. I'm right. Or, since we'll have a slice of material here, actually 25, 26, maybe we should go 27 with this arc. And have it actually start right from there, right from the edge of that. Yeah, we should do that. Because there'll be a slice of material, and we'll design that today too, if we have the time. I think we'll be able to get around it. Okay, that's better. So let me crank this up, diameter up to 27. There, that's better. And, you know, it's pretty much the same, really. Okay, so, but you know what? We won't, well, I don't know. Gee, that's not very round looking, though. The 27 really isn't very round looking. I'll plot it out so you can take a look at it, but fuck. Check it out. It looks like this. So we got 1, 3 like this. And then this is basically just a 45-degree angle like this coming out for 1, 2, 3, for 5 blocks. 3, 4, 5 like this. Okay. And then it comes out across like this. 3 like that. I mean, it's not very round looking to begin with. I'm not. I mean, that's not even round looking. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty tough to look at. Let me see. Oh, Draken with the shout out for Princess Nebula. Yes. Princess Nebula's response. Grrr. But thank you. Yes, P-Nebs is an awesome streamer. Please go check her out. In her Minecraft server, she's recreating going with a story time theme where she's doing fairy tales and stuff, and it's very, very cool. Just built herself, was wrangling some villagers in the last stream, and built herself an iron farm, and was doing cool stuff like that. So please go check her out. It's a lot of fun. No, I'm late because it's the 4th book I've read today. I've read a lot of Kindle pages in less than 24 hours. Oh, by the way, PNebs, I would like to also mention congratulations on the your deaths to day ratio lowering since the last stream. I think I'm still the lowest for the moment. I'm not sure. Followed by Oscar Diggs, who is just above me. I think I'm 2.3. Oscar Diggs is 2.4. And PNebs, I think yours has rounded down to about 2.6-ish, right around there. 2.57, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not an official contest. I don't think it is, but we're just comparing death rates because it's funny. Thank you. And yes, you're the lowest for the moment. Yes. I'm getting there though. Yeah. And you know what? I wish I had the data so I could plot graphs because I really like to see what the trend is. When you're starting out in your early days, I'm thinking since there's less days and that's in the denominator, that the ratio is going to be really high. And then as the days increase, it comes down and it comes down. I would think, that anything over 1 would be kind of questionable as to one's Minecraft skills. One's proclivity towards death. It is hilarious. Yes, I think it is anyway. Because, let's be serious. Most of our deaths are us being foolish. And that's always entertaining, so... Most of our deaths. Almost all of them. In fact, Oscar Diggs has it as actually part of his points redemption when he does his Ravager runs and things like that. I'm not digging that. That looks way too squarish. That is not a good approximation. Come on, mouth. Do what the brain says. Approximation of a semicircle there. That looks terrible. PNebs is saying, I have died once for my own purpose. I jumped into the void at the end because I didn't want to trek all the way back to the portal. Yeah, we've had a couple of those. I'd like to claim that the majority of mine are those, but I'd be wrong. That would be an untruth. Yeah, I really don't like this at all. Now, this isn't a problem with the plot's ellipse generator. It's just for certain diameters of certain circles, ellipses, and arcs. It just doesn't translate well. It just looks really, really bad. So, one of the other things we could do is actually go with a much bigger circle, and instead of treating this as a diameter, you could treat it as a chord. You could do something like that. And so, let's see if we can get a rounder circle. And, we may actually use an ellipse. You can use a part of an ellipse for it. Yeah, if we use an ellipse, we basically get what we got before if I crank it up to... Wow. 33 looks pretty horrible. Okay, but of course, as you increase the diameter, the approximation... Well, I don't know. Sometimes it looks horrible. That looks pretty bad. That looks pretty bad. So what I'm doing is I'm making adjustments. Let me see. Thunderhand Gaming, a fair number of yours have been due to you forgetting to put on your wings. Yes. I wonder what the percentage of that is. Come on, it's low. It's like less than 10%. How many times have I jumped off of a high height? A great height. And forgot to put my wings on. That's happened. A lot of my early deaths were in the nether, actually, where what was happening was I would look at an Enderman, and I get the Enderman upset at me, which I can deal with, except that there would be zombie piglins nearby. The Enderman would attack the zombie piglins in trying to get to me, would strike one of them, and then... through causation, the zombie piglins would be upset at me. And I died a number of deaths because of that. So that indirect, that implicit cause they got upset at me a number of times. Those are recorded streams too. Those are up there on YouTube on our YouTube channel. So Thunderhand underscore game Thunderhand 64 underscore gaming 2. Those are up there from the early days in October. You can see me dying a lot there. Your semicircle is off because there are too many ones, making it look almost like, yeah, and that's the problem. That's what I'm saying about some diameters. You know, the approximation is bad just based on what section you're getting. You know, and it's usually the bigger they are, the better they look, right? Because you have you can approximate the curve. You have more blocks with which to do that. The less blocks you have, the more square and octagonal and stuff it winds up looking. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to increase the diameter. And to see what... Now this one looks much better. And so if we're using a diameter of 35 and just go 6 out... Yeah, that already looks better. So I'm going to try this. So instead of treating this here as the diameter, I'm actually going to go with a much greater diameter back here and have this be the intersection of the chord. And I think using that as a chord, I think that'll be better. That'll give us a gentler approximation of a circular section, an arc. And so, ooh, a lot of geometry right now. It's getting good. So, let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I'm doing to be my first block. Good. Would do a little something like that. Right? Okay. I need 3 of these. Okay, yep. I need 3 of them. 4. This would be the other one. Actually, I want it sticking out from that. So, have to do. There we go. That's a little bit gentler. Right, and then here. Yeah, see, that's not as bad. I'm liking that already. Nine. Oh yeah. Okay. So it's gonna make quite a flat front though. 1, 7, 9, which isn't not too bad, I guess. Throw in the other. That's not so bad. It's a little gentler. Let's take a look at the bottom. Yeah, but you know what? That's really not much of a curve, is it? Because where this is really going to show is down here from street level. So this is the angle where it has to really look semi-cylindrical. When you really want to get the curve there. But you know what? The lesser diameter, 37 does not look good. Yeah, 37 does not look good at all. And when we go down, 35 looks absolutely awful. Actually, 35 looks about the same there. Just has less of a flat front. We're gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 35 looks the same actually. So I'd have to go down to about, and I'm going odds because we have an odd numbered space there. 33. Oh, 33 looks terrible. Six, yeah. Let's see. Go back down to 31. I mean, that's not too bad. You wouldn't get the crossbeam here. You wouldn't see this. This would be built in. You wouldn't see the cord of that sort. I mean, we're going to have to commit to one of these, Thunder. You're going to have to commit to one of them. But I don't know. From the street, maybe the perspective helps on that. Maybe the perspective helps. Tell you what, let's just put in the second arc on the bottom. Matching arc on the bottom. Because we're going to have to, it's not going to be perfect. You know, there's no way. Let me see which one of these fits. I'm just double checking to make sure I didn't miss anything there. And yeah, okay. So this is the one that we're using here is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're using the we're using the chord block for 6 here. And coming out 6, so we're using a 35 diameter. Just triple checking, just to make sure, because how many times do I want to do this? So yeah, this would come out to here. That over here. I don't know. Maybe that's not too bad. Maybe that's not too bad. So, coming in here. I think that's going to do. Let's get further back. I think that's good enough. I like it. It's still, you know, that front part is still a little too flat for me, I think. I think all things considered, I think. Now, the other thing I wanted to do now was reproduce this curve. Now, that's the convex of that curve. I'd like the concave of that curve in the back here. I think that would look really cool. Yeah, see, I could match that up right here. So I'm thinking I can do something this out. I certainly didn't want it concave on both sides. I think that would look a little too weird. But from the back, I would like it to. I didn't want to convex on both sides, I should say. So convex facing outwards, concave facing inwards, I think would really cool because these stagger inwards from the back. This. Ooh, massive geometry. Massive geometry, students. If I weren't a teacher, I'd apologize. I'm not the apologizing type. And no, I'm not going to follow that with sorry. Apologies. I'm not going to contradict myself there. All right, let's... Sorry. I'm not the apologizing type. Sorry. There we go. So I kind of like that idea. Because even though we staggered the hotel room units, which I thought was a good idea to break things up and to give things space like that, we have a lot of 90-degree angles, right? And so it's cool to mix in now some kind of shapes with some curves. That's adds quite a bit. Shape. See, my basic idea was to be inspired by the Westin Hotel in Maui, Hawaii, and which is nothing like this at all. But that's okay because you know what? You need some sort of place to start, you know. And if you diverge from your initial start area and you go way off on a tangent, that's okay as long as you got to start. Start is the important. See, I really like that. Okay, so let's see what we have here. The mighty Oscar Diggs has stopped in to say hi. Hey, Thunder, lurking while I do some cleanup in my basement here. Okay. Hotel is looking nice. Thank you very much, Oscar. And shout out for Oscar Diggs, of course. Thank you, Draken. So Oscar Diggs also does a Minecraft stream, and you know he's also added a board game stream. Although I've only seen one of those so far, but lots of fun, both of them. Lots of fun. So please go check out Oscar's stream. And do what I tell you to do. Okay, so let's do this. What I'm thinking. So we have this kind of thing going on inside. I've only seen one of those so far. You did a board game stream, Oscar, where you were playing some railroad game online. Some railroad game live. Sorry, trying to get my mouse to say words properly. Yeah, not quite sure how that's going to merge into this along the bottom. But that's the only one of those I've seen so far. Okay, so that's what I'm thinking the middle section is going to look like. A little something like that. And of course, you know, as the levels increase and we build upward and upward, hopefully that's the idea. If we get a lot of guests on the server, also this foyer section would also continue upward, and so we would need to reproduce these arcs on these two levels as well. And in fact, where these arcs should be at floor level, really. That's where they should be, at floor level. So let's lay these out of what they would look like at floor level. Because we really don't need them down here. We need them at floor level. That's the important thing. How many more times do I have to say that? We need them at floor level. Floor level thunder, that's where we need them. Where? At floor level. That's where. He's babbling. He's lost his mind. Speaking of himself in the third person now. It's hopeless. Ticket to Ride. Yeah, I think that was the name of the game. Yeah. Thank you, Drag. You think it was purposely named after the Beatles song, Oscar? Uh-oh. That's not good. Why? Because right here, this is where the problem. There's your problem. That would actually be like that. This would be like this. Take this one. I mean, it's probably going to wind up extending down through to the lobby face anyway, but we might work out something with columns there or something in the front. Yeah, we would do something like that. Now, the bottoms of these floors here might actually wind up being different. Because we have two levels. These really mark the top parts of each of these levels. Whereas down here, this would be where this merges into the lobby structure down below. So that may wind up looking a little different afterward. All right, but let's extend these ones over. Here. Those right there. Hawk hands. Thusly. that's cool. One of the other things that we haven't done so far in the hotel is used any of the new materials and textures. And that's a little weird. Ticket to ride. Sorry, stepped away a bit. Yeah, no problem. I understand you're doing or cleaning your bake. And so we have yet to use any of the new materials so far. And like I said, that's a little bit weird. You know, I don't know about yourselves, but when the Nether update came out and we had new materials like basalt and its variants and all the Blackstone variants, I was like, oh, I know exactly how I'm going to use these. And you know, I put them in all of my builds. I was really excited about it. And now we have the Cliffs and Caves, at least part 1. And we have awesomely cool materials. And I have no idea how I'm going to use them. And I don't know why either. Like all the slate variants are so cool looking. And I have no idea how I'm going to. I think it's just going to be one of those things where I'm going to have to just start using them. See what happens. Also, I'm watching you guys. I'm watching viewers, fellow streamers, content creators, and seeing how they're using them, getting some ideas too. But usually I don't have to do that. Usually I have my own ideas right off the start. This time, drawing a blank. Don't know why. Okay, there we go. Now we've got a rough shape with which we. All right, a couple of things that are definitely going to happen here. Oh, let's see. Got a phone call. Be back in a bit. Sure. So we do have some functionality requirements here. If you're walking along this hall, you need to be able to get over to there, right? And similarly, I don't know, though, if you have your patios here, do you need to get across here to get to there? Maybe not so much so. Right? I don't know if anybody over here renting out this suite needs to get over to there, people renting out that suite. I don't think so. So that doesn't really make that much sense. What would make sense, I guess, would be to have some sort of mezzanine from here coming over to here. That would make sense. Here, like this. And so a couple of walkways here, and then maybe a semicircular walkway there. I think those would be good things to do. One thing I'm a little bit concerned with is being down here and blocking too much of this open space that's going to go all the way up. I don't want to do that. And I'm thinking these walkways need to be about 3 blocks wide, very minimum. You need 2 blocks with which to walk, on which, and at least a block for some sort of railing or something like that. Plus, we also need to cover this wall here, too. We might be able to do that. That is the back exterior wall. Yeah, so we don't have much spacing on the other side of that wall at all. And if we want to put any redstone or anything like that, we should have some sort of facing here on this wall. So at the very least, all of this should be extended outward. I'm making that dirt because that's going to be filler, and you won't see that. So here's where things get a little nitpicky now. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm thinking actually this walkway would end here. This would be like the high traffic area here. And it would go around. So these columns will be moved. So maybe extending this. Well, I'm going to extend it at least out to here because that's where the wall is. But then we would send the walkway out this way. Yeah, you know, maybe this would now be wide. Okay, yeah. But that would be a little precarious for somebody who's stepping out this way. Maybe might do some changes here. Those would be units. Glass. Or like that. Here at least. This would be like. So you get some sort of thing like this. Where this would be your patio. Although this does block your view. If you think about it. That does block your view if you have this patio. But, you know, this could also be glass, too. This could also be glass. Your neighbors, and this is one of the reasons why I staggered this out, is so this doesn't necessarily block your view northward if you're on this mezzanine. That's one of the reasons why I staggered these back. That's, you know, architectural design. So you have a little bit of, now southward, it sort of blocks your view southward a little bit. But, you know, these are still open. So that's not. But part of this structure will block the view of the folks here. But like I said, there'll be quite a bit of glass here, too. That won't be. So let's do something like this, and let's just lay out some. Again, you know, I want to keep these as narrow as possible. And for railing here, I'll probably use, like I did over here, except it might be colored. I'll just use glass on the edge of these. Because there'll actually be a wall here. Right? And we don't know what the wall is going to be yet, but there's going to be some sort of wall unit there dividing this up. And so maybe there would only either be 2 spaces here, like this, or we might go with 3, which I think might be too much. Because that's technically 4 sticks. There would also be a wall unit on the face of that. So when I came out here, but that's going. And I want to make sure that this doesn't close up too much of this open space, because one of the drawbacks of these arcs are that they'll close up space. The one in the front seems to open space, but the one in the back closes it severely. So always a comment. Fuck. So if we go down here now, you know, that's still a really good opening, I think. I think that's still good. So do this. Let's trace out this arc here. Actually, though, this would be material, so we would probably have to come in one more because you wouldn't be able to stand on this. That would be material. We have there. So I would actually have to reproduce this arc back. Here we go. Something like that. Which is still kind of narrow. But this, again, there would be material here. Not too bad, I think. Again, I apologize for having to, well, I don't really apologize. I regret having to fill this in with manually like this without using a fill command. That would be difficult to do with the weird shapes. Do a little manual. Again, you know, we can choose materials later. Let's just trying to get the shape and some dimension. Yeah, you know, that's not too bad. I think that's all. Especially considering there won't be any kind of walkway here. I don't think that that's too bad. So that would all merge this way. Or if we were going to include the superfluous medial vowel this way. So from down in the lobby, you know, the space would be closed up like that. But you got to remember that there would be a wall of material there. So this wouldn't be quite as thick as it looks there. Oh, well. Got it. So down here, I don't think that that's going to be too bad. That's still pretty open looking, I think. Especially when you get the perspective going all the way up. So. Bracken says it's looking nice. The approval of my co-pilot there. That. Come do that. If I measure this out, one, okay, we get a little too much here. This would be 1, 2, 9. But again, you know, if you're just joining the stream or you're watching the VOD, don't freak out, please, okay? I'm certainly not going to use dirt for all of this. Come on, of course not. We're just getting shapes and dimensions. And, you know, then we think about materials and textures. And we'll fill in the walls there and just... Now, initially at least, this entire top part would be filled in, because this would be a roof, you know, to whatever layer we momentarily or temporarily stop at. So that would be closed up. Now we could do something cool for the top. We could make some sort of really cool looking circular. We could do that. And that would be like the first time I've built anything spherical or semi, depending on which part of the sphere I use. In Minecraft, I've never made spheres in Minecraft. But again, you know, the plots application has the guide for those. I think. But you know what would really suck, though, is every time I added a layer onto this, I would have to tear down that sphere and build it on the next layer up. Yeah, maybe not so cool. So maybe we'll build something, maybe some sort of big circular window in the top, but maybe it's 2D, or maybe it's not circular, maybe it's elliptical. You know, because I like to get away from, you know, it's cool to build circles and stuff, great, but you know what? We can up our game a little bit of geometry. So maybe we'd use some sort of ellipse in the roof, like a big old ellipse, like. I think that would make a really cool shape. And you know what? It really wouldn't be that difficult to reproduce on the next level up as we build upwards. Again, you know, depending on... So, let me see. Each floor has to have some sort of wall covering there. That part off. But, you know, we do need some sort of transition area here because going from outdoors indoors right there, so. And we're not sure about this. That's a me. That's a me. So let me see. How are we doing? Let me see. 6:30. We're actually past 7:30. We should go into standing mode at this point. Let's do that. Oh. Maybe we should adjust the camera just a little. Just a little. So I need a real mount for my camera. But, you know, we do have a lot of gear coming in, although I did get an order cancellation from Ford, which I am not, at the least. In the least, I should say. Not not. Access. Bit more. Right there. Okay, that's good. That's better. Yeah, and so the audio board that I was talking about, that has the audio interface, 12 channels, audio board, and recording deck, all built into the Zoom L12. My vendor canceled the order. So I'm not happy about that. The one that was on the shelf that was supposed to, their excuse was that it was damaged, and they didn't want to ship a damaged unit, and they wanted me to wait a couple of more weeks. And I'm like, you know what? I can. In fact, I'll probably just order that directly from the manufacturer, you know, for just about the same price, and it'll be here in a few days. So, yeah, not pleased. But you know what? I still have quite a bit of work to do around here before I actually bring that into the studio here and start hooking it up. You know, I have some things to do to the bench. I actually have to make a storage unit under the bench to put all of the equipment. So to get it all off the top of the bench, get it all neatly tucked away underneath, all the cabling and stuff will all go down there and stuff, and it'll really clean things up a lot here. Because over the last year, we've just been slapping things together and putting things in place, and to see what works and what doesn't work, see generally where things should go, what's the best placement for them and stuff. And now I've pretty much got that worked out. And now it's time to clean this place up. And as P-Nebs keeps asking, yeah, you know, I guess studio tour, I guess. Room. But, you know, we need to get things cleaned up around here. Plus, the place is clean. It's like one of the cleanest rooms in the entire house, of course. But because, you know, technical stuff and everything besides. But I don't like things so cluttery. Things are starting to get a little bit cluttery. So it's been bothering me all year because I've just been going like 16, 20 hours a day, you know, all day long. And it's like, now, okay, I've resigned from the job. I have the time. So now I can chill out. By the way, talking about timing, as I resigned from my job, not long after, I guess, Impulse SV and Zombie Cleo both announced that they are full-time content creators. They resigned from their day jobs as well. So a little bit after yours truly, but I wish I had their following so I could be a little more confident. But, you know, content creation is, you know, that's not going to be my main gig. My main gig is still going to be teaching math online. So, but, you know, content creation will be a little bit of that. Yeah, we'll still be doing quite a bit of that. But they're doing just solely content creation, of course, right? And so it was cool to see their announcements. I saw Zombie Cleo's announcement first, and she's a teacher as well. And so that was particularly exciting. So, you know, I got in there, show my support, stuff like that. And then I saw Impulses today. Impulse had been talking about going full-time for quite some time now. At least as I recall from this last year, he's been talking about. But I guess yesterday, technically, he made the move, so good for him, man. Good for him. Glad that they can afford to do that. Because this is actually very, very hard to do, scheduling-wise. And now Oscar knows more about this than I do because he does more video editing. Well, gee, I don't know. I probably, that's actually probably not true for this last year because I was making video lessons. Now, I wasn't doing Minecraft content. You do that, much more of that than I do. But I was doing video lessons. I was doing a 50-minute video lesson every day for the last year. That was hard to do. I'll tell you, that was very, very hard to do. And so, you know, content creation, that's a full-time job. And to do that along with another full-time job is really, really hard to do, people. One of the toughest things is when you go to edit a video, I mean, you create it, say it's a 1-hour video, you spend at least the hour shooting it, at least. And then it takes more than an hour to edit it because, I mean, just playing it without doing any editing takes an hour, right? And so you got to figure in at least 2 times, double the amount, the viewing time. So, you know, video production is a big deal, man. A lot of work. Oscar will tell you that. And it makes excellent video. But it is a lot of work. Do that while holding down a full-time job. That's tough. The only reason why I can do it is Mrs. Thunderhand works part-time as a nurse, and we have our health care through her. So we don't really need the health care benefits of a full-time job because she gets that through the hospital. And that's really the only reason why I can resign from the school. If that weren't the case, I wouldn't be able to resign. I'd be stuck there. Because you need the benefits. You need the medical insurance at the very least. You got this. Thank you. It is a lot of work. There's a reason my last YouTube video was in January. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Okay, so I'm looking at the shape for the ellipse for this thing now, and I'm going to put that right in the top of the roof. And so down here, what's going to look better? Is my major axis going to be east to west, or will the major axis be north to south? I tend to think east to west because I don't want it to look too confusing with this curve right here. And so I'm thinking east to west. And I'm thinking not to make the minor axis too big. It'd be pretty narrow. It'd be pretty narrow. So I'm thinking it should be as wide, if not a little bit wider than this face of this curve. So that's maybe 9. And then I'm thinking the major axis... Well, the major axis should come inside this balcony here. And so we can measure that out. So let's do this. That actually makes a lot of sense. So let's try that. Now, just because it makes sense doesn't mean it's going to look good. Well, this will be 9. Okay, so 2, 3, 4. That should be the middle. Right, let's measure out here. 1. Okay, that's 18, even number. That's not going to be that good. But you know what? We might come in this way as if there were a balcony there, because this is technically going to be in the roof. Right, so let's do this. Like that. Okay. And then down the middle of this thing. We've got this. Okay, and then let me see. So I'm gonna go one back this way so I get an odd. Here we go. But these are actually the holes for the ellipse, so I gotta be careful. This we're actually plotting out negative space right now, so we gotta think about that. Wait, going into standing mode, yeah, by about what, 7 minutes, I think. After so much sitting today too, because Biggie Cheese is actually he had 2 back-to-back games here, and so each game is about an hour. So we were sitting on our keister for about 2 hours, hard benches, and so that doesn't bother me too much. But for Kachi, that he was miserable. Yeah, but he was a really good kid. He was there to support his big brother, Giga. They are awesome boys, though. 1, 2. 15. Good, that's better. That means I've got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and the middle block is right about there. And then I wanted the major diameter to be maybe one more than this, so that would be 11. So that should be 5 on each side of this block. He, her, sons. Yes, we're switching languages. My Chinglish. Her sons. Like this. Okay, so we got to go into plots. Now, this may not look good being this small. We'll see. Because, like I said, the smaller the curves are, the worse looking it is. So the more difficult the... oh, it's 20 minutes. 20 minutes late? Yeah, I thought 7:37 is when I went into standing mode. That's when I looked over and I decided to stand up. Stand up kind of guy. Here's your dad joke for the evening. Anyways, let me see. What? Bring this down. Wow, that's probably the ugliest ellipse I've ever seen. That is not going to make a nice looking ellipse at all. It's going to look really bad. I'm going to lay it out for you guys just to show you how bad it can be. It can be this bad. Right? So again, the smaller these shapes are, the worse off the approximations get. It really can't be helped. You're trying to approximate curves with square blocks. Oh, that's... Here we go. Like this, and then let me see, on each side we have 2 unit like that, and then a sort of weird 3 unit like this, which is almost pointless, really. When you get shapes like that, that's almost pointless. But I don't know, this will be a hole, so again, think negative space on this, and we'll do a fill up there to do most of this. I mean, that's... I don't know. Maybe if it's high enough up off the floor, it probably won't look so bad, but... That looks ridiculous. Let's fill in the ceiling first. All right. Let's fill in the ceiling first. Then we'll knock the hole in the ceiling. It'll look a lot better. Down here at this level, it's going to have the same position except further up, but the effect of it looks just too dumb. So let's put it up there where it's going to belong. Where it's going to belong. So this technically would be the roof. Roof. And once we get this closed up to a rectangular space, we can use the fill command for the rest of it. Hawk. There we go. Okay. And let's do this. Let's use our fill command. Leslie. Okay, so when you're down below, now, again, you know, you'd have separate material, right? But when you're down below, you'd have this kind of effect. Okay, and then I'm thinking in the top of this to have a big elliptical window top. But you know what? We could actually get a much bigger ellipse. Maybe we should put the major axis going north to south like this, and then put the minor axis east to west. Maybe we should wind up doing that instead. You know, sometimes the Autobot is really funny. I'm just saying. All right. Right, Dragon? Sometimes it's a little odd. All right, so yeah, structurally that would do something like that. So I'm thinking I don't know, maybe I should just go with a boring old circle, but man, you know, I don't want to do a circle. I mean, I could keep the eccentricity of that ellipse really low so it's closer to a circle. But, oh. I'm tend to thinking, you know, just as I'm looking up here, just tend to thinking, you know, minor axis would be north to south here. And then major axis would be east to west. I mean, that's just... Maybe we just make it bigger? I mean, we could just lay it out on the roof and see what it looks like. Or on the ceiling. This. Bring it up here. Like that. And do the same over here. But here I don't want to make this too close to the wall. I may bring that in a little bit. So it's already in there. I may bring it in 2 blocks like that. So I mean that would be the major axis of the ellipse up there. But the minor axis, I don't know. I tend to think it should come right about to there. And it's going to wind up being about the same. So it was 19. I knocked 2 off, 17. So 8 on either side. Be the center point? Yes. Okay, that being the center point, now how much do we want to go out on either side? I think it's going to wind up being circular, everybody. Maybe the boring circle is going to be the best thing, the best looking option. Oh, well, yeah, it's a little bit longer here by 1 block. I mean, that's practically a circle. I mean, it's 17 going east to west, and it's 19 going north to south. I mean, gonna go get ready to turn in, sir. Good luck with your circles and ellipses and ovals. Oh my. Okay, thank you so much for dropping by, Oscar Diggs. Oscar Diggs, everybody. I think this is going to wind up being a circle. I think it's going to wind up being circular. Rarely I do. Yep. Yuppers, it's going to be a circle. Okay, so let's just go with that. It's going to be a circle, and diameter shall be... Dial that in. There we go. Not a very circle-y looking circle. Again, you know, you're talking smaller diameters. It's a tough thing to approximate with blocks, but let me see. So the flats are going to be 5s. It's weird how you get the flash of daylight through the dirt when you place the wool blocks. Why? I don't know. Really weird. Minecraft for you. Okay, and then we have... Yeah, this is pretty dull looking. This... And... that didn't come out right. Oh, because it's not 19 by 19, it's 17 by 7. Oh, that means it's going to look even worse. That's a still 5. But we have, well, I don't know, maybe not so bad. Fuck. It'll look a little something like this when we're done. So if you're down below, yeah, the circle would be, that's not too bad. I think the further up it goes, the better it'll look. So let's just knock the hole in and let's see what it looks like. So that's easy enough to do because you just do. And, you know, maybe it'll look better as negative space too. So there's that. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now we can, now the precise part of this is over. Now we can get a little slop. Okay, there we go. So we can get this from on high. Then we'll shoot down there. We'll see what it looks like. And again, overall, the goal for designing this in the creative mode is not to get this 100% designed in here and then reproduce it 100% in Realm 5 there in Generations. You know, you get as much as you need, and then, you know, you can make a lot of decisions on the fly when you get when you actually start rebuilding it in the realm. There was a way to measure the percent. I'd say like about maybe like 80% of it in here. That's a pretty big hole. So if you were down in the lobby, you would see some glass hole in the top like this. We might do something. If you were up walking on these mezzanines up here, it would look like, and now there would be a rail here, but you would be looking up like that. I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. Be walking around like this. Come up to here. There would be no way across there like that, which is okay. And let me see. This might be open here. I'm not sure. At the very least, it'll be glass. There might be a doorway or some sort of interface right here. So this would still might be open area. We'll see what happens there. And then so these folks could come walking down here, down into the hallway like that. That's what I'm thinking. I think it's something like that. That hole in the top might actually be a little too big. That might be a little too big up there. But smaller is going to look a lot less circular. 17, next we would be dropping down to 15. Yeah, 15 looks very squarish. Yeah, I'm thinking something like this would look pretty cool. But you know what we could do is we could move it. We could move it one block that way. Thunder! Yes, yes we are. Okay, so we could move it one block this way. Even though it's symmetrical from above, when you have other things down below, the space throws it off a little bit. And so you could do something like... You can bring it out by one more. So it's actually right here. You would go behind and fill those in. So this would be two like this. Wow, the hands are very disobedient right now. And let me see. This. I want to shift the whole thing down. Oh yeah. Okay, so we're gonna have to actually do a little. This. Like that. Yeah, we gotta shift the whole thing. Yeah, so these sides would actually stay the same, like the same. Fine, like that. That's how it would work. Oh, that's why we didn't do that, I think. Well, no, we're good. We're good. We still have about 1 block of material between the space and the wall. That. Oh, this goes this way. No. Something's drastically wrong. Yeah, this has to do this. There we go. That's better. Okay, yeah, so we shift it forward by a little bit. Put that into place. I think it does that. Cool. Oh, wait. Like that. Great. What are we doing for time here? 8:11. We're actually closing in now. 19 more minutes left of the stream. As we give ourselves a 2-hour time limit. And I did very little off-camera work this week. Very little. See, now that we've moved it over a little bit, yeah, you know what? I like that a lot better. See, because only 2 blocks show past the mezzanine here. One of those is going to be a wall. You know, I think it looks a little better now that we moved it over. I like this a lot better. Very cool. So that's kind of the shape for the middle part that we're looking for. A little something like that. And now it would just be a task of choosing materials and things like that. In the remaining time, I think I'm going to build these up. These will probably wind up being glass. A lot of this will be glass. Take a look at the shape on this. Good. 1. This is this. Now this is going to look very weird because it's going to be all blocked in. So it's going to look very closed and claustrophobic. But like I said, a lot of this will probably wind up being glass. Okay, so whatever the structure is going to be, I'm not really sure, but that's going to do something like that. And then it'll continue all the way down here like this. And, you know, we don't know what the materials are, or, you know, what portions are going to be glass and what portions aren't. But the basic shape is going to do this kind of thing. Right? So we do know that. I know this looks terrible with the dirt, but the idea is, you know, you have to have the vision. Vision. But this is what I was a little worried about, is the extremes are very flat. You know, they're very flat. So, but you know, because we're going to with a large diameter, a large radius, so really not a lot we can expect there. Some of the limitations of Minecraft, you have to work within them. But you know what? Just laying out this with something like dirt or some wool or something like that really helps with the space. You know, because another thing that's deceptive in Minecraft, scale is really deceptive, and perspective is weirdly deceptive in Minecraft. Because it gets bent depending on your field of view. My field of view is at about 70% right now, and I like to keep it right about there. But it really skews shapes and sizes of things and stuff. So, you know, perspective is really weird. See, like here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this. You know, to have something like that. This is a weird area. So I'm not really sure. I like the idea of it, but maybe actually this won't be like this here. Maybe this will be closed and be a straight, and it won't be open like it is on those ends. So maybe that'll be the case there. See, you don't really know that until you build this and close it in. You know, it's at least it's not very obvious to me. So. You can already see how some of the shapes are going to work with each other. And then we could do the same thing with this. We can close these. And again, you know, this may wind up being glass. But we don't know what's going to happen down. So let's not do that. I intend this to be a lot with glass because I want it to have a really open look to it. Tension, but this mostly encloses the spaces, so you can get an idea of things that'll merge well together and things that'll clash. So. Again, the face of this looking very flat. Very flat. But not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. I'm liking that. Okay, let's go fill this part in here. Okay, so that's kind of the basic shapes that we're looking at here. Something like this. So if you're down here, you're walking in like this. Now, the front of this, I'm thinking on maintaining this kind of shape right down to the ground level, at least in the front, and trying to do that in some kind of way in the back. Although, again, I want to keep the back open here so you can look straight through. So I don't know if I'm going to I may wind up integrating some kind of really cool big old arch right there. I'm not sure, with two big columns on either side and trying to keep this open all the way across. We'll see what happens there. I'm at 8:21, so I have 9 minutes left to my stream. At about 5 minutes left to the stream, I'm very, very likely going to start hunting around for raids, people on whom we can raid, because I think a number of our friends, I got notifications for a number of them coming online. Right, To Your Death is coming online. I haven't seen her in a while. And what's she doing? Oh, she's doing It Takes Two. Oh, yeah. That is a weird game. Funny, though. A really good source for content, too. Hilarious. All right, so I'm thinking shapes like this. And now that I think of it, and I may do some of this off camera, yeah, this is actually going to be a wall. Just going to put a wall right there. I'm not going to have it open like this. I just may have it attached like that. Or I'll make some sort of attachment like this. And I may do a wall out to here like that with a doorway into here. I may do that. I'm really liking this. So I'm just saying, real estate moguls, when you're ready to build a hotel, let me know. Have a look if you like what you see. Contact me through my socials. Let me see. The railing is going to do something weird along here, though, but it shouldn't be that bad. And look in the lobby, and even up here on this level, you can see out to the sea a little bit. Of course, a lot of that will be glass, too. It'll be really cool. Then you can look down on the street from there. This hallway will still be open. So you'll still be able to look down on the street here. In fact, how far away will the street be from the hotel? It'll be far enough away where you can see it completely from here. So this angle would be the edge of the street, so you can have a full view of the street. And the further up you go, the easier it should be. So the bottom most floor would be the limiting factor. So it would be this one. You need to see the street unobscured from that level. So the street would be right about there. So that's where I would plant that's how far away I would put the street. In fact, if we did something like this, certainly wouldn't be this close, but you can just put in different colors of wool here. Just measure out. That way you don't have to plot that angle exactly. So that would be the most obtuse angle. So if I were here, wow, it doesn't even show. The purple doesn't even show. So it would have to extend beyond the purple. Yeah, the edge of the road would probably go where the blue one is. So that'd probably be where the edge of the road. That would be the soul sand gutter on the side of the road. So let me see. Somewhere around here would be the edge of the road. The edge of the street would be there-ish. Really ridiculous corruption of that word. Something like that. And then cobble. I have 5 of these across here. That. I think that's where I'm going to put the road. How far in it'll go from the road there. That. What are you doing for time here? Oh, we got to wrap this up. There's different kinds of cobble now. So cobblestone. I think the street would wind up being about that kind of distance. That way, if you're up on this balcony, you'll be able to look down and see the street. Full view there. And as you go up, it gets easier to see because the angle gets more and more acute. So Power's up on this one. But I mean, eventually you're going to get it too high, right? I don't know. It should be all right. Be all right. Yeah, I think that's a good indicator. Although I may move it out a little bit because I do want some grand stairs. Yeah, maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe I should... I'm going to have some stairs, a nice big staircase here and then off of the street. So it's going to have to come out even more than that. But that would be a minimum distance. Anything further out from that would be okay. So that means we're going to have to extend some of the Mushroom Island outward that way. Because if you're on the street and then you go out here, to be honest with you, the water is probably right here. So we really don't have a lot of room with which to work there. All right. Draken's back. Let's do our raid, shall we? And I think we're going to raid Tear Death. We're going to raid her. Kiwi friend. It's a little dry here. There we go. And let's set up our raid. Oh, we got some cool stuff done today. Look at how majestic, even with dirt, it looks majestic. Okay. And so picking out some materials, going to tidy up some of that, and then build the wings onto the ends is what we're going to do next. The towers, the Bubble Vader parking towers on either end, and then it's the lobby. And you know what? We don't have to build the mezzanine, the whole patio area behind it. I'd rather actually do that in the Generation server itself when we get to that point. But we are getting there, people. We are getting there. This is a big build, big design. Having a lot of fun doing it. So let's plan out our raid. Let's do that, shall we? There we go. All one word. Before I hit the raid, I like to log on here on the iPad separately because it's a little faster for me to do that. Because sometimes there's a delay when I switch. Alrighty. Let's bring the volume down a little bit. There we go. While we're doing our raid. And getting closer every day. Yeah, we're getting there. Well, you know, it helps now that I'm actually back into it a little bit and I'm not procrastinating on it. All right, here we go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that'll do it for my stream, everybody. Thank you so much for dropping by. Really appreciate it. Made some good progress today. And if you weren't able to attend the stream, watch the VOD, please. Also know that Kachi time is probably going to be at a different time tomorrow. We'll make the announcement again. Biggie's basketball game. So Kachi time will probably be a little bit later or a lot earlier. So I'll put up a notice. Please watch for the Discord or the announcements page on our About page for our Twitch channel, Thunderhand64_gaming. Bye for now, everyone.